like going hunting, just me, my hound, and my gun. Chasing them deer, rabbit, and squirrel, now that's my kind of fun. I like going fishing too, I'll go on any whim, looking for the big bass, the crappie, and the brim. Just give me a wide open field to walk through. Give me an ocean so deep. I want to ride the longest river in the world, or maybe climb the highest mountain peak. Like going down to the fishing hole, my buddies and me and my old cane pole. Bait them hooks and wet them lines, it's a life I love so fine. It's almost supper time, you'd think the world was mine.
And now for today's outdoor adventure, here's Archie Phillips.
Folks, we got a real interesting show for you today. We got Coach Gene Stallings, University of Alabama, and my good buddy Jimmy Dixon. And Jimmy has got a very unusual way to go fishing, and it's the slickest thing I ever seen. And you talking about fun and family fun and just getting out here on a beautiful day. We're gonna be crappie fishing, and Jimmy, I wanted to look at your rig here. Now you got more poles out, and Carter's got little liver pills in. Now how many poles have we got out the back of this boat?
We'll have 20 when we get out in the water.
Now folks, we're talking about one boat. We're gonna have 20 rods out here.
2 lures on each one.
2 lures on each one, and we're apt to catch most anything that swims. Is that right?
That's right.
And we're just gonna go back and forth around. Now tell us where we're at, Jimmy.
Lake Martin, Alexander City, Elkahatchee Creek.
Elkahatchee Creek, all right. Well, we're gonna rig up. We get out there, we'll show them jigs in a minute, what you're gonna rig up there with, Jim. And
right.
We just get out there and enjoy some good crappie fishing.
This looks like a meat boat to me.
Yeah, I believe it is.
We're gonna come back, we're gonna have some fish.
We're gonna have some fish, Coach. Okay, well, let's rig her up, Jim.
All right, Jimmy, now we're gonna be moving around here, and now I see you got electric motor on there. What are we going to just be going a certain speed? Is that what the deal is?
The slowest speed possible, just so the tail of this grub will wiggle just a little bit.
What would that be, number 1? Is that what you're going to set it on?
Number 1 speed.
Okay. All right, now show us how you rigged up for this deal, because I mean, I want the folks to pay attention, because everything got a reason, hadn't it, Jimmy?
Right. Ordinarily, we catch fish that are 8 to 10 feet deep.
Okay.
I use a 1-ounce sinker, 2 jig heads.
All right, now let's see how you got that thing rigged on that sinker now.
Right here.
All right, you got
Just
the sinker at the top.
Slip sinker on the line.
All right, wait a minute now, slow down a minute, Jimmy. You got the sinker, and then you got a swivel right under it.
Barrel swivel.
And then you got 2 lines coming off.
Yes, sir.
All right, one of them is what, 12, about
14, 16 inches long.
14, 6, and the other one is how long?
Roughly 2 feet, that's close enough.
Hold that now. You got, I notice I'm looking on all your things, you got different colored jigs and tail. Now, what size weight is that one you got right there,
1/16 ounce head.
1/16 ounce head. Is that what's on all of the ones we're trolling? You got some different weights on some of them?
That's mostly what I use, 1/16.
1/16. All right, and then I noticed that your rods, you got the ones straight out look like they're pretty long, but when we come around the side here, you got some of them that's long and some of them that's shorter.
Shorter, staggered.
Okay.
So that the lines will be roughly a foot apart, dragging in the water, parallel to one another, and the jigs will stay away from each other.
I see.
Not be wrapped around all the time.
Now, we're going to have out 20 rods. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm figuring on. I usually...
Coach, you ever fish with 20 rods?
Huh? I've got to see this too. I mean, I'm used to a 1 cane pole. Zebco, real.
All right, Jimmy, now, what, we just going to start letting out? Is that what we're going to do right now?
Pull out 1 foot pulls like that and count them.
All right, how many you going to count down for?
There's 10, 12, 14, 16 feet of line out.
All right, how deep will that be?
All right, I've got roughly 5 feet of line out of the water. There's about 11 feet of line in the water.
Okay.
And that lure is going to be running pretty close to 10 feet deep. I may raise it up a little bit if the fish start appearing 8 feet deep. I'll raise it.
All right, now let's go over this. Now you got your depth
there's
finder.
The fish on the screen now.
All right.
That is fish.
All right, now
yes,
see,
sir, crappie.
Now the thing about it is,
they're 10 feet deep.
You have got your depth finder in the strangest place I ever seen on a boat. You ever seen one on the corner of a boat, Coach?
Well, I've never fished out of the back of the boat going backwards. I mean, that's new for me. But I can't. That's amazing. If
You
we
may
just
run
look
the
at
ball
that.
the wrong direction
Yeah,
if you're
that's
not
right.
careful.
Don't tell what's happening if somebody come around the bend.
The machine received a strong echo.
You got him, ain't you, Coach? You got him? Yeah, he's still on there.
He's still on there. I'm trying to catch up with Jimmy.
I tell you, you both running a pretty good deal right now.
I got one.
Oh, yeah.
over
Oh, you
here.
got one over there, Jim?
A small one.
What we do? Come through a school of them?
Yeah. Wow, this one's big enough to eat.
There you go. 2 at a time.
Look at
That's Coach. Is that hard to beat?
I'm telling you what.
That's like 2 field goals at one
that
time,
was
ain't it?
barely on there. Is that good enough to keep?
Yes,
That's
sir.
good
That's
size.
eating
Yeah.
size.
Now these crappies, we got a limit of 30 per man per day. So I don't know if we're gonna catch 90, but we could. That's how
We
many.
could.
We could catch
We could
90.
catch
couldn't we?
190 if we wanted
Well,
to.
yeah, if we minded to. Over your.
That's
Oh
all right.
man, that's
Just ease
that's
them
kind
in.
we're hunting right there, Jimmy.
Ease them in here.
Hey, and that's
about
a
a
crappie
shot?
right
Yeah,
there.
there you're talking about some. Turn that thing around here, Coach. Turn sideways with that thing here. Let me see. Where's that fish at?
Put your thumb in his bottom lip. You probably know more than I do about how to
Well,
hold him.
Turn sideways up here, Coach. Let me get a look at that thing.
That's a pretty
now-
crop.
Bad crappie right there. What
Jimmy,
that way, Jimmy?
A pound and a half.
Yeah, that's a
Look at
fine
that lure in his
crappie.
mouth. He loves that browning on.
Now, Coach, if we got a good guide today,
I'm telling you, we hadn't fished 10 minutes. We've already put 4 in the boat.
well, we ain't even got the rods out.
I
That's the
can't-
thing about it.
I
Don't
hadn't
lose my
got-
fish. Now.
Don't lose his fish, Jim.
What Coach has got.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that thing.
Ease him on in here.
Hey, that's a good one. That's another one.
I got another. Over
Hey, oh, look out, look out. You got another, Jim?
Hey, Archie, here.
Holy mackerel, look at
It's
that.
pretty good
Oh, that's
size
good
right
stuff
here.
right there. Look here what Jim got another one. Boy, that little old bitty rod does the job, don't it, Jimmy?
They all do when the fish are.
Now I see why you got all this rig. Everything in this boat is. See, look at that, Coach. You can reach it. See how handy that is to your hand? Right in the box. You ain't even got to get up.
That's a great deal right there.
Yeah. And Doug seen that rod go down. You see him scatter, Coach? Yeah, coming right on in. Jimmy, I don't believe we've had a spell. Do you think we have, Coach, of over 3 minutes we ain't had a fish?
That's right.
No, we haven't.
It's been a while.
I don't know whether to throw them to the ducks or to eat it.
They like them golden flake tater chips, don't they, Gene? Just got them off the
I do
ship.
too.
There you go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, sir. That's a good one. We got tangled up lines and everything. We got to get the fish in the boat. Is what Jimmy says. Get the fish in the boat, and then we can do all the untangling.
Tangled.
Yeah.
I got 2 on over here on the other side.
Right now,
And somehow or another, you're.
you got 2 fish on Jimmy.
Yeah.
Way over here on the left. Oh, you got one on the pole too.
Yeah.
One on the pole,
I believe he got off.
and on the pole off. Okay. What of that in there's got some.
That's got the axe.
That's one of them old B&M poles.
Yeah.
Huh? It's got that good feel to it.
Yeah, even a little crappie.
That's a little
feels
crappie,
good.
but it sure had a good feel to it.
It really did. That's a little old crappie line.
It
huh?
says crappie rod on it, I believe, don't it? right along
Yeah,
here.
that's B&M poles. That's old Bucks
Right.
over in West Point, Mississippi.
That's
makes
right.
sense. All of that is outstanding. That crappie rod really got a good
Yeah.
feel on it, don't it? That's a regular B&M crappie rod.
Yeah, I'd rather catch a crappie on that than any rod I got.
Yeah, it really fit. I use them and use a little small jig when I'm just casting.
Mm-hmm.
And put about 4-pound test, Jimmy. It's one of the best little old casting
right.
crappie rods you'll ever want to use. Oh, 2 of them. Boy, that's a good one there, Coach. Easy. Jimmy, get that little rod out of the way. Hold him there. That's a good one there.
Oh, that's
Look
a slab
yonder.
right here, man.
That's going to pull off if you ain't careful.
Ain't
Careful.
gonna
I hope
pull
he's
off.
stuck good.
He ain't gonna pull off.
Okay, go easy. Go easy.
He ain't gonna pull off.
There you can tell him, buddy, that was a good little wad right there, Jimmy. 2 at a time. They come out of the same patch,
Did
didn't
you hear how confident?
they? They ain't gonna pull off.
He ain't gonna
pull off. Yeah.
He didn't either, did he?
Look at that, boy.
Well, you got that's just as good. As
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
win the close ones.
Yeah. Get that one right there. And you could tell me
Hey,
to hit
this
you.
one's heavy.
Is that a good one?
This one is really
Well, now, they
heavy.
still got 2 good ones right there in a row. I see him back here. Oh,
That's
man.
the biggest
Look at
one I
that.
have
Look at that.
seen
Look at
today.
that one. Don't mess up now.
Easy.
Oh, man. Hold
That's
on.
a slab
Easy.
there.
Now, buddy, that's
Easy.
a hoss right
He's
there.
just barely caught.
Jimmy, I ain't got no net.
No
Oh,
net.
look at all them lines tangled up. Jimmy, don't lose that fish. Please
Easy. Easy.
Look
Please.
at that.
Easy.
Don't lose him, Jim. Don't lose him. Ease him in there.
Easy.
Ease him in there. Can you get your hand on him?
Easy.
Don't mess up. You got him? Oh boy, that's a fine one there.
One's got this other rod over here.
Here, put that in the boat. Here, get that in the boat first, Jimmy. Sit him in here. Huh?
Look at that rod,
Take the
George.
yellow rod out of
Look
it.
at, I'll hold it.
Hold that right there. Holy mackerel, boy, we got in a mess of them that time. Coach, this is like having too many players on the field, ain't it?
Look at that fish right there. You got one right there.
Let him go.
Oh,
This is the man.
outstanding.
Hey, Coach, you're wrapping this day up with, you got a pretty good mess for a deckhand, ain't you?
All we've got to do is ram the nose of this boat into the bank and keep this out in deep water, and we're all right.
That's good. That's good. Jimmy, you got a pretty good little mess right back in the back right now. Look at y'all.
You doggone too.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
All right, Jimmy, show us how to get these things ready. We're going to put them in the skillet.
I hear you.
All right, what are you doing now?
Cutting down the side, cutting through the rib cage there now.
All right. Want always a tail, right?
Right. And don't cut all the way through,
All right.
hopefully so it will hold it.
All right. You're going right down on the bottom now. You're touching the
Yeah.
skin on the front, right?
Yeah, taking the skin off there.
All right.
Electric knife's a lot faster, but this is all right.
All right. Put them in them plates right there now. You going to go ahead and take the bone out too?
Take the rib cage out right,
All right.
there. They're just plain meat, no bone.
Okay.
All right, now, Coach, we're going to take some of them crappies we caught, and we're going to turn them into blackened crappies, and it is going to be some of the finest eating you ever eat. We took us some butter and melted it in this little jar here. All we're going to do, we're going to take this fish right here. We're going to dip it in the butter, lay them right out here, just like this right here on this plate. We've got Jimmy over. He's going to catch up with us on the skinning. We're just going to butter them up, put them right there. Butter them up, put them right there. Just like this right here. As he catches up, we'll be frying. Now, we're going to make blackened crappie, is what we're going to call this, right out of the river. We've got some of this Paul Prudhon's, buy it at most any store. We're going to put a bunch of that right on top of that fish, just like that right there. Put a good layer on that. We done got this, we got our skillet real hot. Real hot. In fact, our butter there is bubbling. We're going to move it right now, right over here on the rock. And we're going to turn these things over, and we're going to put a layer on the back side. It's like what I'm showing you right here. And you talking about some fine eating, it already tastes good, and we ain't even got it out of there. Okay. Covered up good. Now that skillet is real hot. You got to have it real hot. You're going to just lay them in there. It's happening, Jimmy.
I hear you.
And we just leave them there and let them go for about a minute or two. Get them good and cooked. We'll turn them over and start again. Coach, get your plate. I got some more stuff to go with this. Ain't that look good? I'm gonna while we're eating, see, we'll always have some. We just eat till we run out of stomach room. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna put them in there. That's gonna be our backer upper. See what I'm talking about? Isn't that nice? See, we got to see how hot that is. It's got to be hotter. This blackening don't work. If it's just kind of halfway hot, it won't work.
What was that seasoning you put on?
Well, that was that Paul Prudhon, that famous Cajun.
Right.
And you just sprinkle it on. You want it pretty heavy on there, so it'll make it do good. See. So we'll let that sit there and simmer while we get the rest of our stuff. We'll just have us a good lunch. Jimmy, them old fish you caught any count?
First blackened crappie I tasted, it's delicious.
See what's going to happen here. You're going to give them fish a break because you're going to be coming over at dinner time, quit fishing for a couple of hours while you eat.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have a rest up period for that. They need a rest up period, don't they?
The only thing gonna save them is us eating.
I know it. Let me turn me some, and I'll be right in there with y'all.
This is the best crappie, I'm telling you.
We got
Isn't that
plenty of it
something?
here now.
And so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Coach, you've been in pro football and you played there at Alabama and all, and now you played at Texas A&M, didn't you?
Played at Texas A&M for Coach Bryant.
Coach Bryant,
a number of years ago, and then I worked for Coach Bryant for 7 years. Back to Texas A&M, then I was in professional football for 18 years.
I see. You glad to be back at the university?
Really am. And one of the things, and I've said this all over the country, the thing that I enjoy about Alabama is Alabama people.
Alabama fans?
Yeah, well, no, just Alabama people. They're not all Alabama fans. It's something about Alabama people that I think is special. Just like this morning, this has been really a fun morning for me. Your allegiance is probably to some other team, which really makes no difference to me, really. Jim probably is for both teams, but that's what, everybody in Alabama has an opinion.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love them all. I like to see them play. I like to see them do good,
right.
And let me ask you this. When you was playing there for Coach Bryant, what kind of fellow was the coach?
Well, first of all, he had a lot of people say that, boy, I was a good friend of Coach Bryant's, and I don't really believe that because I don't think he had that many close friends. People didn't really know him, in my opinion. He had a soft heart. Most people you think of talk about Coach Bryant, he's growling and he's tough and so forth, but, he would go out of his way to do good things for lots of people. He enjoyed fishing. He enjoyed taking his grandson and going out and doing some fishing. He enjoyed bird hunting with Jimmy Hinton and some of his friends. Lots of stories, especially in College Station, about where he would go down into some of the poor areas of town and maybe take a kid, a dog, or something of that nature. It goes without saying he was a great football coach, but he was an outstanding human being.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this. Now, when you've got your recruits and all there, what do you think that a coach does? You got boys that's good or they wouldn't be there in the first place. But to get that extra that that young fella is capable of, what does a coach, what is his job? How does he bring that out in him?
Well, first of all, the player's got to know that you're concerned about it. And he's just not a product. There at the University of Alabama, it's really important to me, for example, that the player graduate. And he knows that. And I care just as much for the second and third team players as I do the first team player. The ability to perform is what's important. It's playing. We'll play 55, 60 plays for the privilege of making 3 or 4 that makes a difference. Now, in order to win, you've got to be able to make those 3 or 4 plays. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not a good person if you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to win football games, you've got to be able to perform just like Jimmy.
He'd make a good football player.
Well, there'll be lots of people on his lake, but they won't catch fish like he'll catch them.
Right.
And he'll catch them today, and he'll catch them tomorrow, and if he were a football player, he would be under the category of a superstar because he would be able to perform.
Right.
And so, and that's what we're looking for, is a guy that can perform.
And Coach, a lot of times it was said about especially Coach Bryant that he could take an average player and get all you could get out of him. How do you do that?
Well, the secret that Coach Bryant had, and very few people that I've ever been associated with had it, is that everybody wanted to please Coach Bryant. The player wanted to please him, the coaches wanted to please him, the administration, the alumni, and so forth. So he just had that knack. Now, we're talking about the best in the business, perhaps the best it's ever been. And so, he spoke with authority. He was concerned about the player, recruited good players. He coached them well. And our X's and O's, when I was with Coach Bryant, wasn't any better than anybody else's X's and O's. But our players thought they were. If Coach Bryant said it, that's good enough.
That's good enough. Well, you've been doing an excellent job down there, and I appreciate you coming and enjoying the other part of the out activities that we have, like down here at Lake Martin, and of course over in Tuscaloosa, you right in the middle of summer, just south of you, some of the finest deer hunting in the world, turkey hunting in the world, and fishing, and Alabama. The good Lord knew what He was doing when He plunked me down in this state.
Well, there again, I've mentioned that a lot of times. Alabama's a well-kept secret. If you don't enjoy Alabama, I don't know what you would enjoy. I mean, we've got beauty in the scenery. We've got big cities, we've got small cities. It's hunting, it's fishing, it's big-time football by several of the universities. It's lots of activities in major cities such as Birmingham and Montgomery and Mobile and some of those places, and you can't find better people.
There you go. Well, Coach, I want to know what you think about my guide.
I tell you what, I don't think it can be any better. It was a great morning fishing.
Well, you know, we had some bad weather, and we were just trying to jump in through a little hole between the weather. And old Jimmy said, it don't matter how cold it is, January, February, we catch him when we go down there. And he done it, didn't he?
Hey, you know what he said? He said, we'd go out this afternoon and do the same thing.
Same thing.
That's a little confidence, isn't it?
Twice again.
Well, Coach, you ever had guys that could kick a field goal, you know, and they said, now, Coach, I can put it through there.
I can do it. Well, you know what amazed me is that all those lines were out, and he said, listen, we're going to get some fish. I didn't think we were going to catch him, to tell you the truth. I never had seen anybody fish that way.
Well, I don't know how many we've got here, but we bumping up toward the limit. We might have to quit anyway if we don't start eating right quick, Jim.
That's right.
So we've had a great time, and Coach, it's just been great being with you down here on the lake, and Jimmy picked us a good day. He picked us a mess of fish.
He really did. I'm anxious to eat some of them.
All right. Well, we can do some of that too. So anyway, folks, y'all stay tuned again next week for some more Outdoors with Archie Phillips.